This 6'6" build is dominating in NBA 2K24. You get an 84 driving dunk, a 93 three-pointer, a 93 ball handle, and a 91 steal. I also adjusted a certain attribute that allowed me to make this build more all-around that I'll talk about later whenever we get into the builder. But before we get into that builder, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new, hit that sub button. We're on the way to 20,000 subs. Now let's get into the build. Okay, now we're in the builder. For your position, you want to go with point guard. And by the title, thumbnail, and the intro, you already know we're going to go with 6'6". Our weight, we're going to go 180 pounds. I always go lightest weight on all my builds. I'm mainly a guard, so I want to be able to move as fast as possible, so I'm always gonna go lowest weight. For our wingspan, I went with 6'7", and I went with 6'7" for a specific reason. I'm gonna show you that later on when we get into the attributes. Okay, first we're gonna start on our physicals. I feel like the physicals really make this build. You have to copy down these certain physicals if you want to make this build. And to be honest, if you want to get the most out of your 6'6" build, if you make any kind of 6'6" build, if you want to use this as a template, I say copy down these physicals because these are all you really need. And something I'm gonna point out, like I said earlier, is what's gonna make this build what it is. For our speed, we're gonna go all the way up to an 86. This right here is your defense. So whenever you're moving off ball on defense, when you're trying to cut people off, or if you're running off ball, if you're dexing, trying to get open on the 3-point line, that's when your speed is going to be used. So on defense and whenever you're playing offense off ball, that's when your speed matters. Our acceleration, okay, if you have not already watched my low acceleration build, make sure you check that out after this video. But we are going with the 73 acceleration. This is a low acceleration 6'6" build. And I played on the 1s, I played on the 2s, I played on the 3s. I have not played on the 5s yet on this build. And I can say the only time you really notice your acceleration being low is when you're coming up the court. Once you get into the half court, it really doesn't matter because majority of the moves you do will not depend on your acceleration. But like I said, when I'm coming up the court on the 3s, I do notice my acceleration being low, so I have to do some crossovers or behind the backs to help me get up the court. With that being said, a low acceleration build allows you to make some demigod type builds in this game. Moving on to our strength, we're going to put that up to a 42. Our vertical, that's going to go up to a 65. The reason we're not going higher is because we're not going to get contact dunks on this build. You can get contact dunks if you activate finishing takeover, but as far as unlocking a dunk package, you cannot get it. The dunk package you can get is LeBron James, which is good enough. So all you need to get LeBron James is a 65 vertical. And then for our stamina, we're always going to max that out. We're point guards. We're going to be dribbling the ball. In this game, if you dribble the ball 5 times, you're going to be blinking. So you got to make sure you have your stamina as high as possible and do your workouts, because just having your stamina on 99 is not enough in this game. Now we're moving over to our finishing. Our driving dunk, we're going to put this up to an 84. And like I said when I was talking about the vertical, with an 84 driving dunk, you can unlock LeBron James dunk package. You can also unlock Klay Thompson and Manu Ginobili, which are also good dunk packages, and baseline versus off one. And those are really all the dunk packages you need in this game to be effective. And like I said earlier, if you activate Mamba Mentality or if you activate finishing takeover and you use the meter, you can get contact dunks. Our driving layup is going to go to a 73. And as you can see, we unlock Slithery, Precision Dunker. We also get Spin Cycle and 2-step on gold in case you want to use that kind of play style of attacking the rim, doing Euros and spin dunks and spin layups. Moving on to our driving layup, we're going to put that up to a 73. And this right here is going to unlock Giant Slayer on silver. We also get Bunny on silver. We get Flow Game on silver and Scooper on silver. So these are some good, decent badges you can use. And layup in this game is super cheesy. You really don't got to time your layup at all when you're doing floaters or scoop layups. So 73 is more than enough. Our close shot is going to be at a 53. And our standing dunk, we put that up to a 32. Moving on to our shooting, and this might be one of my favorite categories on this build, just because as a 6'6", being able to shoot like I can shoot on this build is super cheesy, especially when I'm ISOing. And even if I want to use screens, you can use screens on a 6'6" if you want to. I prefer to ISO on a 6'6" just because it's a little bit slower than those shorter builds, but you can do either or. You can ISO or use screens. For our 3-pointer, we're going to put that up to a 93. And as you can see with the 93 3-pointer, we get Agent 3 on silver. We get Blinders gold, Deadeye gold. We get that Limitless Range on silver. We get badges like Catch and Shoot, Corner Specialist. These are some good badges to have. Green Machine is going to be on gold. Space Creator, Spot Finder is another good badge to sleep on. Claymore we're not going to use so much because we're the main guard. Guard Up is another badge to sleep on. We get that on gold. And then the most important badge in this game, I feel like, is Open Looks, and we get that on Hall of Fame on a 6'6". Just having these badges alone on the 6'6" makes it super overpowered because you're shooting like you're a small guard, but you have the height of a tall guard. And when I show you the playmaking and the defense, it's going to be a no-brainer that you need to make this build. We're going to leave our mid-range at a 78, and this unlocks Mini Magician on silver. For our free throw, we're going to put that up to a 74. So at 74, we're able to get free points on bronze. Moving on to our ball handle. Our ball handle is going to go to a 93. Just with the ball handle at a 93, we unlock blow-bys, we unlock handles for days on gold, killer combos is on gold, unpluggables unlocked, ankle breakers on Hall of Fame. Ankle breakers in this game are kind of OD. If you combo up the right way, you can put people in animations a lot. But then we move on to our speed with ball, and you bump that up to an 83, and we'll show you what that unlocks. So with this 83, we unlock speed booster on gold, and we get blow by silver along with handles for days on gold, and we get all the best animations when it comes to 6'6" builds in this game. For our pass act, we're going to go with a 75. I feel like personally, I ISO on this build, and I think that my passes gets my teammates pretty fast. I'm pretty sure I use some bonuses in my pass style, and 75 is more more than enough. I say 75, 80 is decent. If you want to get different pass styles, you can go a little bit higher, but going to the 75, you're saving on attributes that you can put in different categories. On to our defense, and I said the shooting is my favorite, so I guess I'll say the defense is my second favorite on this build. Since the game dropped, I've been getting plucked and I have not made a build with high steal. So on this build, we're going with a 91 steal, and when I tell you 91 steal is super overpowered, 85 steal is overpowered, but I want to go with gold glove, gold interceptor, and gold right stick ripper. So I went with that 91. As you can see, you unlock all the gold badges that you need as a defender on this game. And when I tell you, when I'm on the ones court and I'm just ripping people, even on the threes court, I don't guard ball on threes court, my lock does, but on back doors, when they try to go back door on me, I get tons of lane steals, I get tons of interceptor steals when they're trying to throw the ball cross court. And this is what really makes me like this build, because I've been playing on the 6'2 with no steal, no defense, and I've been getting bullied. But now I got my 6'6 with a 91 steal and gold glove, gold interceptor, and gold right stick ripper. Our perimeter defense is going to go to a 75. So we're not the primary defender, but we can hold our own, especially in the ones. I play with this build on the ones all the time, and I do perfectly fine. The steal kind of makes up for it. You really don't even got to play perimeter defense on this game. If you have good stick skill and good defensive IQ, you can stay in front of somebody with a 75 perimeter defense, and that 91 steal is always going to bail you out. And you might be worried by looking at the block, but block is too expensive on this game, so I decided to go with interior defense, and I went with the 60 interior defense. And when I tell you, this right here is the key to this build. 60 interior defense gets me hella stops. I don't get chased down, I don't get anchored, but as long as I stay in front of the person I'm guarding, I will get a stop. If I keep my hands up, just put my hands up, wall up, you will get a stop 9 out of 10 times. As you can see, we made a shot creating 3-level threat with shades of Kenny Smith, Lonzo Ball, and Tyrese Halliburton, and I'm telling y'all, the 6'6 build goes crazy. And if you need the jump shot I use for this build, click on this video right here for the best jump shot for 6'6 builds.